All right, welcome back. I got a disturbing vice story here. It's not filthy, but it's kind of disturbing because it involves you'll see. I don't want to give it away, otherwise what am I here? I might give it away in 10 seconds. I was working vice with my partner, and we got a call from a detective table, a child molest and endangering table. It's crime against children. They said they had a guy that pulls up in the morning, had pulled up in the morning a couple times in a schoolyard, in a playground, and he opened his passenger door, and when the alarm went off, he would play with himself, and he had all these kids that are like, you know, first, second, third graders that are screaming when they see this, and you know, he drives off when they're thinking, okay, we're gonna have a hard time prosecuting this because if we catch him, you got 40 victims, but they're all, you know, first and second graders, and you can want to take those children to court. My gosh, you know, ridiculous. So they thought maybe we could set up and maybe catch this guy, and he always came at 8:30, and they tried a couple times to do it on their own, but I think they said they probably were spotted because nothing happened for a couple days, and they were concerned because he did it 2 days in a row, and then all of a sudden when they were out there, it didn't happen. So obviously he spotted something he didn't like. Okay, so we said, well, let's do it. So I had a partner I got up with a plan. Here's our plan. It was a sidewalk, it was a street next to the freeway, so nothing on the one side of the street, and this side was a school. It had a paved blacktop playground that came down about this far off the sidewalk and with a chain link fence, and the kids play all over the place. And of course, being it goes like this, a lot of their balls would bounce and wind up against the fence, and they'd pick them up and go back up. So we decided to put one of us, I was put on the far side next to some bushes, and I dressed really bad, and my partner was on the other side sitting on the curb, and we both had our props. We had a bottle of wine that we dumped out and put water in it and looked like we're winos, and we were dressed like winos. We looked really bad. And then we had my vice sergeants in a plane car up the street watching us, and then we had some black and whites nearby along with detectives to respond in case they're needed. You know, obviously we're not going to do the arrest. We're undercover cops. So about 8 o'clock, 8:10, we're ready to go. We set up. We're ready. We give each other signals. We're looking at each other. We're only about a half a block from each other, so we're pretty close. So we're waiting. I'm sitting there waiting. Car goes by. We're in the heavy Latin area. This is a Caucasian gentleman in the car. And I look at that. I give my partner a signal. Looks pretty good. Car goes by, goes around the block, and it's gone. So we looked. Oh, maybe it's not the car. Okay. Well, turns out he's probably waiting for the. He was waiting for the recess. So about 8:25-ish. Remember, 8:30 is when the bell goes off. Here comes that car again. So we look at each other, give each other nods, give each other signals. The car pulls to the curve, almost exactly between him and my partner and me. Facing me. My partner's over there, I'm right here. The playground's over here, so I'm sitting there. And I'm waiting. And the reason why we wanted to be there, and the reason why we wanted to see this, is we wanted to see the illegal playing with himself, the lewd act. That way we can be witnesses. We don't have to draw in these poor kids who are actually victims. So that's why we're there. So we waited. And right before the bell went off, that passenger door opens up. When the passenger door opens up, I got up and I started staggering like I'm a wino towards him. I'm not very far, I'm just leaning against the fence, you know, so he doesn't really want to look at, he looked at me for a second, and then he looked away because he was busy, okay? He was busy. I'll say that right now. Alarm goes off, kids are screaming and yelling because they're coming out on recess, and as I see that, I get closer on purpose. And I get closer and I get closer, and now I'm just about to the door, and I see him turn facing the kids about the time I got to the door. And I look in, and I'm sitting there staggering, and he's playing with himself, okay? I've got him, okay? I've got him. So I'm standing there, and I stand there for about 4 or 5 seconds on purpose. I don't want to scare him because he might drive off. And I just kind of look away, stagger some more, I look back, and I just keep on going. Now I give all kinds of signals, okay? And I just keep walking, because again, undercover officers don't do takedowns because it's too dangerous. Somebody might mistake us for a crook. So I'm just keep walking, partner's watching me, and all I see is police cars passing me. Boom, another one, black and white, another black and white. Up a direction, one car came, got him in front, the car came in the back, car came to the side, everybody's got their guns out. I was told this is what happened because I was busy with my partner. I'm looking back now, and all the uniforms are dragging him out of the car. He's not fighting, they get him out. Okay, so now we wander back. My supervisors get out, told them what happened. Detectives are with them. Excellent, excellent, good job, good job. And they got him handcuffed, sitting down on the curb. And then they're searching the car, and I can hear the guy saying, "I have no ID." They're searching the car. The guy pulls out a wallet, hands it to one of the supervisors, He opens the wallet, and it's a police wallet. Okay, police ID on one side, badge on the other. He's a sheriff in a county, a couple of counties away. Okay, everybody's like, they look under the seat, out comes a revolver. Police issue revolver. He's a cop. Okay, he's a sheriff. Everybody's going, OS. Oh boy. Okay, so now you see what's happening. Just with another story I had about us arresting a priest. A lot of moving parts here. You got to notify all kinds of people, especially if it's an outside agency, because you got to call. So scooped everything up. We drove the car back to the station, and now we're out of this. We just sat back and watched because we're giving them statements as what I saw and how we did it and all that, and then they're taking over the investigation. So we went and had lunch. We come back, and by the time I came back from lunch, there was a captain from that sheriff's department, along with a couple of sergeants, had driven in from their county, and apparently, unlike some big cities, these guys had resignation papers in their hand. And they're in there. I was standing outside watching as they had this dynamics going on. They had the suspect there. They had our captain, his captain, having this little talk with this guy. And there's all kinds of threats going on. This is the 70s, so the captains are threatening him with this and that and blah, blah. And so they took the cuff off. He signs his resignation form, put the cuff back on. They come outside. They look at these guys, these people, these captain from the sheriff's department and his sergeants are standing there talking to our detectives. He says, book him. He's no longer an officer. Wow, that was quick. Within 30 minutes, he no longer was a police officer, and they just wanted him to go to jail. Because you cannot have these kind of officers. You can have officers doing this kind of activity. This is not what the citizens pay for. Okay, so I didn't book him. The detectives took him away for a decent exposure, and they had a bunch of crimes a couple weeks before, and that was pretty much it. We got accommodation for it, and we solved that problem. Everybody's happy, and you know, unfortunate, but you don't want people like that on any police department. Hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.